Hari Hari Om Tatsat. Hari Om Tatsat. Jaya Guru. Jaya Guru. Shuddho Buddho Vimuktaha Shuddhi Shikhara Giram Mukhyata Atparya Bhumi Yasmad Jatam Samastam Jagadidam Amrtat Vyapya Sarvam Sthido Yaha Yasyam Sham Shavataraihi Suranaravanajairakshidam Sarvametad Tam Bhumanam Mukundam Hridigatamamalam Krishnameva Prapadye Tam Bhumanam Mukundam Hridigatamamalam Krishnameva Prapadye Madhya Hridaya Kashe Sadanandamayo Guruhu Udetu Sadatam Samyak Swatmananda Prabodhagaha. Hari 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 Om Tatsat. Jaya Guru. As usual, we shall have 3 times a joint recitation of Omkara. The purpose of the recitation is to ensure that this joint recitation in the form of sound should permeate the whole of the earth and shower its benedictions on all creatures. Let the mind expand to bring about this wonderful felicity. Interlock your fingers and put them on your lap. Sit comfortably erect, close your eyes, open the mouth and heart and join me. We shall recite the shloka 7 of chapter 2. Karpanya dosho bhagata svabhavaha
Karpanya dosho bhagata svabhavaha
Pruchhami tvam Dharma sammudha chetah
Dharma sammudha chetah
Yachreyasya Nishchitam bruhi tanme
Nishchitam bruhi tanme
Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam prapannam Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam prapannam Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva tena gandavyam Brahma karma samadhina. This one sloka, 24th of 4th chapter, is very, very comprehensive. In one sense it is very minute, in another sense it is comprehensive. It tells you what is the goal of life. It also tells you how to attain it, how to remain constantly linked with the Supreme Reality. This is the real question before every seeker and devotee and yogic student. Now this sloka gives you the way in which you get linked to the Supreme Reality. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagnau, Brahmanahudam, Brahmaiva, Tena, Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. You follow me, I will recite it. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi,
Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi
Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam
Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam
Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam
Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam
Brahma Karma Samadhina
Brahma Karma Samadhina.
What does this sloka say, contain? What is the message? It tells you that everything is Brahman. You don't have to make it. It is already so. What is this world, the creation? The creation consists of only Pancha Bhutas, 5 elements. And they are graded properly. It is solid, then fluid, then gaseous, then energy, and the infinite space within which all these are contained, and in a way which has given rise to these 4. Now, what has become these 5? These 5, I would repeatedly say, are like water becoming ice. Water becoming ice. As water, it is fluid, it has got flowing power, it is very flexible. Whatever line you draw, it won't be visible there. The water will close up. You can pass water through a pipe to any distant place. It's very flexible, very convenient to use. Our life depends upon what? Our life depends upon the earth where we are. We are delivered into this earth. And we breathe the air, we drink water. Our body remains hot. All these are the properties of the Panchabhutas. And finally, space is interwoven with all the other 4, outside as well as inside. We are surrounded. The 4 bhutas are surrounded by space and penetrated also by space. Now the entire Panchabhautik creation is no other than Brahman. Brahman is the source of it. Tapasa chiyate Brahma tadonnam abhijayate, says Mundaka Upanishad. Brahman goes on swelling with austerity, tapasya. What is tapasya? Tapasya is something that you can do in any condition in which you are. Suppose your legs are tied, hands are tied, you cannot move, you are lying. Even in that position you can do tapasya. Tapasya will be done by the mind, by the intelligence. So tapasa chiyate Brahma. Tapas is not an interaction. It is a subtle, intense activity done by one. So the Brahman went on doing tapasya. Then he started swelling. Tato nam abhijayade. Then by that swelling process arose food, matter. The matter is the food for us. And then all the other things came therefrom. Understand this. So Brahman is actually, suppose you can consider Brahman to be water, the world is the ice. Both are H2O. In the same manner, what Brahman is, the same thing the world, the creation also is. So the whole thing is Brahman. Every bit and piece of it, every aggregate of it, every division of it, every particle of it, every created process of it, everything is Brahman. So he says, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagnau Brahmanahudam Brahmaiva tena gantavyam Brahma karma samadhina. Here is a person, knowledgeable person, who always thinks that whatever you may do, suppose you apply this verse, that everything is Brahman, into the sacrifice, that Vedic sacrifice that people are doing. There is something called arpana. It is called the ladle. The fireplace will be about 3 feet square or more, and you will be sitting outside the fireplace, that homagunda. And with a ladle you will take the materials and put it into the blazing fire. So that instrument which helps you to make offerings, that is called the ladle. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi. What you carry in it, in the form of avis, that is also Brahman. And this fire is Brahman. And the hota, the one who offers it, he is also Brahman. So Brahman is the material offered, it is offered into Brahman, by Brahman. So everything is Brahman alone. Brahmaiva tena gantavyam Brahma karma samadhina. So in other words, the perception, preservation, prevalence of that oneness, that feeling and surety about Brahman, all are really one. That perception of oneness, contemplation of oneness, realization of oneness. See, in the wakeful state, you do many things. All the organs are active and you are interacting with many things. The same you, spread out in the waking state, when you go to sleep, you become completely withdrawn. But then also the I, the you, that you do not disappear at all. In the same manner, here, you may consider many things, you may do many processes. All of them are ultimately Brahman alone. This truth is to be perceived, cherished, contemplated upon, preserved, and taken refuge under. So this is the real yajna. People are not doing it, are not able to do it. Living in a world of plurality, for the mind to rise above plurality and hold on to the point, the truth of oneness, apparently is difficult, very hard. People don't like it also. But our country has established sufficiently well to say that the people who foster the idea of non-dualness and realizes it, they are the superb amongst human beings. There is nothing for them to give or to take, and none in this world or in the heavenly world can have a demand from them. Now, this is the real yajna. Jnana yajna, you can say here. The wisdom is the factor that plays. Now he goes on describing there are several other conventional and allied practices in the form of yajna. Daivameva pare yajnam yoginah paryupasate brahmagna vapare yajnam yajnenaivopajuhvati. Daivameva pare yajnam yoginah paryupasate brahmagna vapare yajnam yajnenaivopajuhvati. Recite. Daivameva pare yajnam
Daivameva pare yajnam
yoginah paryupasate brahmagna vapare yajnam yajnenaivopajuhvati Daivameva pare yajnam yoginah paryupasate. Yogis, By the word yogis, what is Krishna meaning? He is speaking about different kinds of practitioners. Yoga is the only ideal to be achieved in human life. And this yoga is an inner process. It's not an outside process. Two objects cannot completely join themselves to become one. If there is a becoming one of two factors, it is inside the body. The mind and thought can become one. The mind and buddhi can become one. The thought and the thinker can become one. The thinking and the thinker can become one. Actually, it is all one. The mind substance remaining the same, how many thoughts are being made, and all of them subside into the mind. So they emerge from the mind, rest on the mind, and subside in the mind. Actually, it's all one. But outside, it's all different. So the real yoga is a practice which you have to do inside the body, using the mind and the intelligence, and the fruition of that process will be the real yoga. But people are not thinking like that. They will say yoga means yogasana or pranayama or something like that. So here he says, Deivam evapare yajnam yoginah paryupasade. The conventional and customary practitioners, yogis, they do one deva or the other is contemplated upon, chosen, and they are offering different kinds of materials for him. Different kinds of material. You know, our yaga is a very protracted performance. There used to be kings who performed a huge yaga. After performing the yaga, the king became virtually a pauper. All the money in his coffer was being used for collecting, bringing materials, giving in the form of dakshina, presents. And after performance, the Raja became virtually penniless. So imagine the complex nature and comprehensive nature of the sacrifices that we have been able to evolve, perform, preserve and perpetuate. Our country is a very great country. So anything that you can dispose of in the way of a yajna. Very beautiful things are there, rare things are there, extremely rare. You try to procure all these rare phenomena and a lot of expenditure is involved and all of them are just burnt off. So when you collect materials, paying your hard-earned money and you offer it in the name of God into the blazing fire, certainly, a sense of sacrifice occurs in your mind. Unless you have a sense of sacrifice, you will not be able to burn off the belongings that you have. So this sacrifice has gained a great ground in the hearts and minds of our people. Deivam evapare yajnam yoginah paryupasade. Brahmagnavapare yajnam yajnenaivopajuhvati. Brahmagnavapare yajnam. On the other hand, there are people who offer in the fire of Brahman yajnenaivopajuhvati. That offering part is what makes it sacrifice. So they offer many things. Anything can be offered. Generally, by materials you mean things which are in the visible world as constituents of the world. That is what you call things, materials. But if you go further and further, is the outside world alone that matters? The entire outside world we are interacting with. So the interacting subject, namely the individual, is far more important in the form of consideration than the external world. The world never ceases. The world never does anything. It is the human beings who bring about changes in this world. If human beings were not there, the rest of the beings would not be able to bring about any change in this world as you are seeing now. So others are offering whatever they want. And you will find Krishna is explaining different types of sacrifice, in which external materials, external fire, and external offering with a ladle, etc. are there. But our sacrifice does not stop there. They think of what is within the body, in the sphere of mind, in the sphere of the intelligence. So they collect the products of the mind and offer them, the products of the intelligence and offer them. That is also a sacrifice. You have to offer. The offerer lays his hands upon whatever he is able to find, to the extent he has knowledge and he is guided by. So Krishna goes on explaining a variety of sacrifices here. Brahmagna papare yajnam yajnena ivopajuhvadi. There are others who go on reflecting upon what is this. After all, we see a world around us. How long are we seeing it? When we are wakeful. When do we become wakeful? Normally we sleep at night and early in the morning we wake up. Who wakes us up? Our own inner consciousness wakes us up. So when we wake up and open the eyelids, we see the roof. Maybe we see the wall around and the floor. You get up, go to the toilet, come back. So the interaction starts from the time the eyes are open in the morning, after sleep. And the interactions continue until the eyelids close up and you go to sleep again. The entire waking is between the sleep and another sleep, subsequent sleep. Have you ever thought about it? There is nobody who has not woken up except from sleep, and there is nobody who has not gone to sleep from waking. Either we get up, remain for 16 hours and sleep. We have to be either in sleep or in wakefulness. There is no change at all. And wakefulness and sleep are our states. They have nothing to do with the world. So in the wakeful state, do we have only external materials to deal with? Certainly not. The body itself is comprehended by the mind. The body consciousness remains only in the wakeful state. At the end of it, that consciousness is completely wiped off. And a man is unconscious of the body when he sleeps. What makes the body forgotten? The body cannot forget itself. At the end of the wakeful state, the mind, that thing which you call mind, wipes off everything, whatever has transpired till then. They may not be always pleasant and comfortable things. There can be extremely cruel, wicked, painful, devastating items also. All of them are equally wiped off by the mind. So when you take the mind and the intelligence into consideration, they have a variety of products to offer. Thought is a product, emotion is a product, memory is a product, reason is a product, knowledge is a product, forgetfulness is another product. The mind can produce a number of emotions: kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. All these products can also be used for sacrifice. It is not that physical products alone, mental products also can be. How to do it? That is where India excels. We are not satisfied with the external world and the external objects and the external offers. Our so-called religion also does not stop there. Between the mind that we have in the body and the material surrounding the body, we know very clearly that the mind is far more important. and decisive than the materials outside. Including our body and senses, the whole world is what? Material and inert. How is it that the inert body becomes functional? Not because of the body, but because of the mind that is inside, which animates and activates it. So when we consider and evaluate matters, can we be satisfied with the external objects and offering them? Your hand is inert. The tongue that utters mantras is inert. Everything is inert. Fire is inert. It is the mind that animates all of them and activates them. So in the sacrifice, should the mind also count or not? Yes. So if you take the mind to be a critical factor, what can be the sacrifices done with the mind and its products? This question necessarily arises. So the second line indicates what? People are reflecting and ruminating over the fallacy of all objects. We say the world and we say the world objects. One day consists of 24 hours. In the 24 hours, only two-thirds, 16 hours, the world and the materials are there and we interact with them. The remaining 8 hours, half of the wakeful period, nothing is there. Our body also is not there. Mind is not there. Intelligence and ego also disappears. Should we not take the sleep into account in the matter of evaluating the objects on the one hand and our own personality on the other? Yes, yes, yes. When you take up this consideration, where do we stand? That is what he says. Brahmagna vapare yajnam yajnena ivopajuhvadi. Instead of collecting materials, igniting fire and offering into the fire, chanting Veda mantras, these people sit in a place. Sit in a place, close their eyes. Close their eyes. Even now, as I speak to you, if you close your eyes sitting wherever you are, don't you think the body totally disappears? You are not conscious of the body. Just see. So the sacrifices are personal, deeper. They are done with the mind and the intelligence. And the products used, if at all, are not external, but internal. What are they? Things like thoughts, emotions, feelings, memory, reason, knowledge, and all that. Between the two, the external and internal products, we should receive greater attention so far as human life is concerned, obviously the inner factors. So this sacrifice is generally done by people of discretion and discrimination. Our life is an interaction. Interaction can only be had between two factors. So life interaction is between the subject individual and the objects of the world around. The individual is the subject there and he remains the same. And he interacts with the world objects. What are they? Persons, places and events. You interact with persons at home, domestic interaction. You interact with your colleagues and bosses in the office, interactions. Then you also interact with so many factors and people in the society. Whether it is on the domestic front, the professional front, or the societal front, interactions are exactly alike. It is a kind of an interaction between oneself, the individual, and the rest of the world. But in the interaction, these people start thinking, what am I? Am I the object or the subject? I am the subject. Which are the objects? Everything including my body, my mind, my intelligence, my ego, the world, earth, stars, everything is object. Though there are so many objects, how do I see them, sense them, experience them? I experience them in my mind as products of the mind. Our mind takes a picture of the objects with the help of the eyes. That picture is an internal mental picture. That mental picture is in the subject domain, not in the object domain. We try to understand the truth of this process, the truth of the subject, and finally you will come to a level of understanding whereby you will find only the subject is there. It was I who slept. It was I who woke up. It was I who sees many now, interacts with. So the I part is very important. And the I survives, and all the objects including the body, mind, intelligence, ego and allied factors, all of them, they are subject to change, even destruction. In a sleeping man, not even the body is there. Mind and intelligence are not there. Ego also is not there. The world also is not there. What a great affair is this? Just like I am wakeful now, I also go to sleep. As is wakefulness, so is sleep to me. It is one of the two states. And in sleep, when I am, nothing is there besides me. Nothing is there. Even God is not there. Now, trying to understand the subjective truth, trying to understand it, how will you understand? By doing the necessary reflection, introspection, rumination, contemplation. Now, that becomes the Yajna. That becomes the Yajna. So don't be foolish enough to think, limited in your idea to think, that sacrifices are all visible, boo, 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 boo. No. Sacrifices can be very personal, very inner, very minute, atomic. When you drop your ego, that is the greatest sacrifice that you can have. All products of the mind intelligence are subjective in character. Whatever the mind produces, intelligence produces, mento-intellectual products are all subjective. Are you following me? Every day we are wakeful for 16 hours. Half the time you are going to be asleep. In sleep, what is happening? The entire wakefulness, including all the objects of the world and the world, the entire objectude is the word I use for it. OBECTUDE. The entire objectude is dissolved into the sleeper, the I in him. The I is never dissolved. You get up from sleep and then say, I slept. So the I alone knew about the sleep. The sleep also vanishes. So everything vanishes in sleep. But the sleeper does not vanish himself. So imagine the subject. Between the subject and the object, which is true, the subject. And what is this? The object is a delusion. Now contemplate upon this fact, this truth of the consciousness, the I. That becomes also a great sacrifice. And realize the transcendental presence. All the objects lose their relevance. When the objects in your understanding lose their relevance, then the relative subject also loses. Then what are you left with? you are left with a transcendental presence. To realize this transcendental presence is the real object of Yajna and Yoga. See what Mundaka Upanishad says. Brahmai vedamamardam purastad brahma paschat brahma dakshinataschotarena. Dakshinataschotarena athaschodhvam cha prasidam brahmai vedam vishwamidam varishtham. When I read this sloka many years back in Calcutta, before taking up sannyasa, maybe I did not know all about it, but I did know. What was the feeling I had? Brahmai vedam amritam purastad brahma. Like all of you, I was also a worshipper. We had a Devi temple in our village, an Ayyappa temple, a Shiva temple, a Vishnu temple. 4 temples were there. 3 of them we usually go to worship. To the Vishnu temple rarely we go. This was our practice. So going to the Devi temple, Devi. Ayyappa temple, Ayyappa. Shiva temple, Shiva. Vishnu temple, Vishnu. So what have we done? We have divided gods into 4. Going to one temple will not be sufficient. We have to go to the others. Otherwise the going is not complete, worship is not complete. Whom are you actually worshipping? We are worshipping one singular God who gives no room for a second existence or display. If that is the nature of God, how can you worship 4 in the name of one? What is this? So what is that worship which makes you think that God is one? It is a worship in the form of knowledge. It is a worship in the form of an attitude, an emotion. It is a worship in the form of a value or a goal. So here the Upanishad says, Brahmai vedam amardam purastad brahma. First of all, Angiras told the inquiring Shaunaka, the householder, there are 2 kinds of knowledge. One is the inferior, the other is the superior. The inferior deals with a variety of subjects including 4 Vedas and 6 Shastras. They are also inferior. What is superior? Superior is that knowledge which tells you about all are one. Yayatad aksharamadhigamyade. By virtue of the superior knowledge, you come to realize, understand and become akshara, the imperishable. Our body is perishable, the world is perishable. By living in a perishable world with a perishable body and dealing with perishable objects and perishable performances, how do you expect to become imperishable? So are you to dabble in these things or are you to leave them, say goodbye to them? Brahmai vedam amritam purastad brahma. My dear Shaunaka, you have been a householder and you have done for decades your wonderful rituals and you were disillusioned. You did not know whether your offerings were received by those for whom they were meant. No response from the other side. At the same time, you are becoming older and older every day. So it appears to be a meaningless, irrelevant and wasteful exercise. That is why I told you it's all coming under inferior knowledge. The superior knowledge is one, which takes you to, which makes you realize the imperishable. What is that imperishable? Brahman. That Brahman, its dimension is all-pervading. He excludes nothing, includes everything. Brahmai vedam amritam purastad Brahma. All this is the immortal, imperishable Brahman. Purastad Brahma, right in front is Brahman. Paschad Brahma, behind is He. Dakshinadhaschottarena, on the right and the left as well. It is Brahman alone. Adhaschordhvam cha prasidam, down below as well as above. He permeates, He pervades. Brahmai Vedam Vishwamidam Varishtam. The entire universe that in which you are, that is the very adorable Brahman, and Brahman alone. You don't have to make it so, it's already so. Now this is the type of sacrifice that knowledgeable, discreet people do. They reflect upon this truth. They examine their activities. They find the activities to be too poor to take you to this wonderful realization. So they don't indulge in various kinds of sacrifice where materials are used, mantras are uttered, blazing fire is set up, and using ladles you offer them there. They leave everything, outlive everything. Find all of them to be irrelevant. The right sacrifice is one where the imperishable, all-fold presence, all-permeating presence is contemplated upon repeatedly. The idea of two, the idea of many is treated and disposed of. And the idea of oneness is established, is absorbed, is assimilated, and it begins to guide you in your perceptions, in your evaluations, in your attitudes, in your values, in your goals. So the life becomes a mento-intellectual life. The life becomes a spiritual life. And you always love to say one. And it delights you. Brahmai Vedam Amritam Purastad Brahma Paschad Brahma Dakshinadhaschottarena Adhaschordhvam cha prasadam Brahmai Vedam Vishwamidam Varishtam. Sit in a place and chant this sloka. Listen to the tune. Bring the meanings of the words as you chant. So to chant there is a mental exertion. To hear there is a mental exertion, mental application. To bring the meanings of words and associate them with the words as you utter. So there is a threefold concentration, inner application. Suddenly you get what? The superb delight. There are people who live and pursue, who realize only this. How beautifully Shankara has put it in Viveka Chudamani. Na pratyak brahmanor bhedam kadapi brahma sargayo prajnayayo vijanati sajivan mukta lakshanaha. Realization of God, realization of the self, experiencing Brahman, this leads you to the wonderful state called liberation while you are living. You get liberated. Liberation is not after death. It is not from further birth. Liberation is right here and now. Bondage is what you experience here. The liberation also should equally be your experience and fulfillment here, before you close your eyes forever. Na pratyak brahmanor bhedam. Never in your life think of a difference between what is present within the body as the I and what is present everywhere as the supreme reality, Brahman. find no difference at all. If Brahman is all-pervading, he permeates the Panchabhaudik world. He equally permeates the Panchabhaudik body. So whatever you call it as the inner presence I, and whatever you refer to as the all-pervading presence Brahman, there is no difference between the two. You call it I, we have no objection, continue to call. You call the other as he, okay, that also is okay. But the fact remains, the presence which is identified as I and the presence which is recognized as Brahman, they are the same. Kadabi brahmasargayoho. In the same manner, there is no difference between Brahman, the supreme reality, and the creational display that is surrounding you. There is no difference at all. It is the water becoming a bubble, water becoming a bubble, water becoming a bubble, becoming a bubble. What is bubble? It is the same water enveloping a ball of air. Air was already there above the surface of the sea or lake. But this ball is a formation of a thin film of water which contains within it a ball of air. There is no difference at all. Kadabi brahmasargayoho prajnaya yo vijanadi. Now this truth cannot be seen by the eyes, nose or ears. This news can be accessed, this truth can be accessed by only your intelligence. So it is an intelligential process. You use your intelligence, assiduously apply it. It is not mere meditation. It is consistent, devout, deep and assiduous contemplation, dwelling upon the same truth until you understand and realize it. Prajnayayo vijanadi sajivan mukta lakshana. That person attains Brahman, and as a result of his Brahmajnana, he becomes liberated. I don't know why I say all this. You know why? Because I like to say. And I also like all of you to similarly like what I say. I only say these are the truths. Somehow Swamiji knows it, so he says. He says it with a lot of delight because it is delightful. And he says this because he wants all of you to similarly feel and be delightful. This delight can be had only by this kind of an inner spiritual, mental, intellectual contemplation. We have many Ubanishes, 10 plus 1, 11 of them. Our Shankaracharya has commented, written Bhashya for. Now Gaudapada, Shankaracharya's teacher's teacher. Govindapada is Shankaracharya's teacher. Govindapada's teacher was Gaudapada. In all probability, Govindapada and Gaudapada were even contemporaries. They were living at least for some years at the same time. So Gaudapada has written a beautiful commentary which stands by itself for Mandukya Upanishad. Mandukya Upanishad is not a poetic Upanishad. It's a kind of a prose. Mandukya Upanishad exclusively deals with the human personality, its expression. What is it consisting of? what kind of states it gives expression to. How do they compare themselves? Can we draw any lesson from them? What do these states and conditions speak? So, you may refer to the world. So far as we are concerned, the reference to the world is what our wakeful state does and makes. If we are not wakeful, there will be no world for us. So far as we are concerned, the world is an outcome of our wakefulness. My dear souls, are you understanding? Are you coming with me? Sleep, and you don't have a wife or a husband or a child. You don't have your own body. For how many hours? 8 hours of the day. You are nowhere and you are nothing. Still you are alive. In fact, the I you refer to is what is present in sleep. There you are not conscious of your body, conscious of your mind, conscious of your intelligence, conscious of your ego, not conscious of the world around. All of them have ceased to be. But the I in you has not ceased at all. Tell me now, which is superior to what? This is why we call it superior knowledge. The knowledge which is superior in nature. By all the knowledge that you search, seek and find, what is it that you ultimately expect to achieve? Sufficient contentment, sufficient fulfillment. The knowledge should fill you so much that you don't crave for anything, crave for nothing. It should fulfill your mind, fulfill your heart and fulfill your intelligence. So Gaudapada has written a Karika for this Mandukya Upanishad. In the Mandukya Upanishad, 3 states are discussed: wakefulness, dream and sleep. And using these 3 states, I call it the philosophy of experientialism. Experientialism. Only the experience. The test for anything is our experience of it. The test for the world is our experience of it. All of us who are wakeful, we look at the world alike and understand it alike. So the 7th mantra says, beautiful, na anta prajnam na behif prajnam, no bhayada prajnam, na prajnanaghanam, na prajnam, na prajnam, adrishtamavyabaharyam agrahyam alakshanam achindyam avyapadeshyam eka atma pratyasaram prapanchopashamam shantam shivam advaitam chaturtham manyande sa atma savijneya. All these words are describing the self, the I. And he says savijneya. This I is the one to be known. My dear souls, how many times you have said I. You are saying. But poor you, have you ever thought about knowing what is this I? I want to live well. Who wants to live well? I. Then tell me first of all what this I is, whom you want to live well. What? People want to improve their life, ornament their life, make life successful. But they should first of all think about what is life. Whenever I ask people what is life, Swamiji, I have never thought about it. Intelligent people say we have never thought about life. What is life? Which is the factor that you want to improve, glorify, enrich, be wealthy, make wealth? So he describes, sa atma savijneya. Shantam Shivam Advaitam Chaturtham Manyante Sa Atma Sa Vijnaya. The Atma is described as the fourth. As the fourth. Then what are the three? The three are sleep, wakefulness and sleep. Fourth, not in a sequential order, different from the three, that's all. In the whole of your life, you only have these three states. You shift from sleep to wakefulness, from wakefulness to come back to sleep. Sometimes you shift from wakefulness to dream and from dream to sleep. So all the three states go on changing, transforming, changing, transforming. The untransforming factor is the I. Unless the I is there, suppose you wake up, then who will come back to sleep? When the wakefulness goes, you go back to sleep. Wakefulness has gone, then who will bring you back to sleep? There must be some kind of a substratum which remains untransformed, unchanging, and that is there. I slept, I was awake, I dreamt. I slept, I was awake, I dreamt. The I never loses, it never vanishes. But all the three states come and go, come and go, come and go. That is why it is called the Chaturtha. So where should you look for the supreme reality, the so-called God? He is the fourth. As you have the three, you also have the fourth. Why is it that you cannot identify it and realize it? If the three experiences are within your reach, the one who causes these also should be within your reach. That Gaudapada has written a Karika for Mandukya Upanishad. Agama Prakarana, Vaidathya Prakarana, Advaita Prakarana and Alada Shanti Prakarana. 4 divisions are there. This is almost towards the end. Na kaschid jayate jivo sambhavosya na vidyate edattaduttamam satyam yatra kinchin na jayate. You know, when I used to read these verses, I used to float in ecstasy. What right do I have? Somebody has written it, I only read it. Without any question, without any doubt, without any resistance whatsoever, my mind and intelligence were soaring, soaring and soaring, not snoring, soaring, S-O-A-R-I-N-G, with the wings of dispassion and discretion. My bird, the bird that I am, so very high. In the delightful sky, infinite sky. Na kaschid jayate jivo. Nothing like a jiva, an embodied soul, is ever born. Sambhavosya na vidyate. The emergence of this world, it has never happened. Edattaduttamam satyam. This is the most adorable truth. Yatra kinchin na jayate. Where nothing ever gets born or nothing dies. What do you say about it? What do you say about India? Yes, we are the only people, only culture which has been able to discover this truth, make it a pursuit of life above everything else. Na kaschid jayate jivo sambhavosya na vidyate edattad uttamam satyam yatra kinchin na jayate. What did I do? I read it. What did I further do? I pursued it. In what manner? In the form of contemplation, in the form of rumination, in the form of reflection, in the form of dedicated analysis, in the form of an assiduous comprehension. I was following it. See, just like you will do any kind of a religious ceremony, I as a boy was dwelling upon the message, dwelling upon the truth. For dwelling, what were the factors used? The mind in me, the intelligence in me. What? Na kaschit jayate jivo. No jiva is ever born. It is a proposition. It is a revelation. It is a pronouncement. It is a declaration. It is a proclamation. We all say, I was born, I was born, I was born. Which was born? Nobody has experienced his birth. Nevertheless, we lie after lie. We make. I was born. Arey, who told you you were born? Ask your mother whether she was born. Ask your grandfather whether he was born. I don't know. People say I was born. At the age of 2, mother comes and tells us, you are my child. This is your father. I am your mother, your parent. It's all borrowed information. Similarly, has anybody died? Is birth within our experience? Has death ever been our experience? Has anybody met a man who has died, who says that, I died that day, now I am here, X, Y, Z? Even when you interact with the people, do you see the eye? Or do you see the body? So when Gaudapada says, Na kaschid jayate jivo, no jiva is ever born, sambhavosya na vidyade. Similarly, the birth of this universe also has never been. Edattad uttamam satyam. This is the most profound, adorable and worshipable truth, not any other. It is not the idols that are to be worshipped. It is not the holy places, the places of water that are to be visited. It is this citadel that you have to climb into. Edattad uttamam satyam yatra kinchin na jayate, where nothing is ever born. How many thoughts your mind has produced till now? Lakhs, millions, trillions, even quadrillions. You say so many thoughts came. Did you see them? No. What happened? They are all gone. Huh? Suppose something is born, it should be present after birth. Any thought that was born from the mind, is it ever enduring? No. What has happened? It emerged and subsided. Emerged and subsided. By its emergence, has the mind increased? By its subsidence, has it decreased? Suppose there is a clay, a heap of clay. The pot maker starts making clay from the pot, making pots from the clay. After every pot is made, you will find the clay is reduced, and he will keep the pots somewhere nearby, one after the other. So you can say the pot was born. Similarly, can you say from the mind clay are thought pots made? Where are they? Where are they kept? Was any thought born? If it was born, it should live. Trillions of thoughts have been produced. Can they be packed within the body? Will there be space? So the truth about a thought is it's never born. It never endures also. By the production of thoughts, neither the mind has swollen nor it has become thinner. Nothing is ever born. Na kaschid jayate jivo sambhavosya na vidyade yedattat uttamam satyam yatra kinchinna jayate. That is why Krishna has sung. I have already taken that sloka for you. Na jayate mriyate va kadachid nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah ajo nitya shashvadoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Like a crying child is made to hear a beautiful song. The crying Arjuna was given a music by Krishna. He was drawn to it and the tears immediately stopped. Arjuna became an inquirer using his intelligence. The mind subsided for a while and his intelligence became assertive. From Krishna's intelligence to Arjuna's intelligence is the communication that takes place now. Edattaduttamam satyam yatra kinchinna jayate. Why I say this? Reading the sloka. You can only read and understand, or somebody will have to tell you, as I am telling you. In my case, I only read. After reading, I started contemplating upon it. It became memorized. And now and then I was, nothing is born. Unbornness is the truth. Unbornness, unbornness. What is this? Nothing is ever born. Nothing ever dies. The truth is that wonderful source from where neither birth nor death ever takes place. Neither birth nor death ever takes place. This is the goal. This is the knowledge. This is the realization. Yes, I have found. See, this kind of a contemplation, that is also a sacrifice. Why are you throwing materials into the blazing fire? To have a certain result, holiness and attainment. Thereby physical materials, using your hand, being offered into the fire, reduced into ashes. That is what takes place there. And you have a satisfaction of having done it with some expectation. Here, it is not an external material. It is mental products. By reading, I produce the thoughts in me. I contemplate upon the thoughts. And if the contemplation is successful, it produces the result. Yes, this is the truth. I am blessed. I am blessed. You can start singing, Na me dvesha ragau, na me lobha mohau, mado naiva me naiva matsarya bhava, na dharmo na chartho na kamo na moksha, sadananda rupa, chidananda rupa, sadaham, sadaham. Start dancing. Will you all come to the ashram? I shall dance with you, saying this. It is worth dancing. All your false notions are gone. And the right notions become stabilized in you, absorbed in you. We have been feeding throughout this biological life only wrong ideas into our mind. The right ideas, never we have laid our hands upon them. Brahma pratyaya santatir jagadato Brahmaiva tat sarvataha pashyadhyatmadrisha prashanta manasa sarvasvavastha asvapi rūpādanyadavekshitam kimabhidah chakshushmatam drishyate tadvad brahmavidas sadah kimaparam buddher vihārāspadam. This is from Viveka Chudamani. You know, these are some of the gems I have cherished ever since I read them for the first time. This entire world is born of Brahman. This is the truth that is conveyed by the scriptures. You can understand it by your intelligence. Grasp them from the scriptures. Accept them in your intelligence. And Adhyatmadrisha, by your spiritual eyes, Prashanta Manasa, by a peaceful and serene mind, with a peaceful and serene mind, Sarva Swavastha Swavi, in all the states that you are, you may cry and weep, you may laugh and jump, you may be indifferent. Any mood that you have, what of it? Rūpādanyadavekshitam kimabhidah chakshushmatam drishyate. As long as you have eyes, will you ever see other than color and shape? As long as you have eyes to see, and the eyes are open, you cannot avoid seeing colorful and shapefuls. In the same manner, Tadvad Brahmavidas sadah kimaparam buddher vihārāspadam. In the same manner, for a knower of Brahman, there is nothing but Brahman to see, to think of, to reflect upon, to contemplate upon, to meditate upon, and also not to do so. I have briefly explained this verse. I would like to explain it with a little more emphasis. Maybe I shall do it next Saturday. Let me stop. Harihi, Harihi, Harihi. We shall have the concluding session, the concluding sloka. After that, Omkara. Brahma pratyaya santadir jagadato, Brahma pratyaya santadir jagadato, Brahmaiva satsarvataha pashyadhyatmadrisha prashanta manasa sarvasvavastha swavi. Oh, I made a mistake. Samvedyavarjitamανuttamamekamadyam samvidpadam vikalanam kalayan mahatman hridyeva tishtha kalanarehita kriyam tu kurvan akartrapadamethya samodita shri. Kurvan akartrapadamethya samodita shri. Harihi, 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 Harihi Om. We shall have the conclusional Omkara. All of you take your pose for it. Harihi Om Tassat. Jai Guru. Jai Guru.